screen? Yeah, please do chat and just confirm me that whether you can able to hear me and you can able to see my screen. Yes. Okay, thanks for the confirmations. Yeah. So welcome you back again with today's discussion about what exactly the SQL is, how exactly it is, and is it make us something better in career? If yes, how? How much? All these questions we'll find an answer today. So then today we are talking about what exactly the SQL is. Then what are the skills I need for like to become a SQL developer, and how exactly the career is for a SQL developer in the market, and what are the benefits of doing certificate? Is it mandatory or optional? Then what is the trend and salary that people used to get in the industry for once who has a knowledge on the SQL Server developer? And what will be the future learning for this? So all these topics that we are going to talk today. Next is what is SQL? SQL is nothing but a structured query language. As we use different languages to talk with some person or to transmit some information between one person to another person, as like we generally we use English, Hindi, Kannada, some other different languages to communicate between the people. Similarly, we have different languages where we can communicate with the systems, computers, and any other machines. From long back, we might have seen like programming languages like C, C++, Java, .NET. So those are the one way of programming language, and as same as that, we have a SQL Server. It's a structured query language, basically and mainly used when we want to access, modify the databases. When we want to read the data from any databases or RDBMS, we want to talk with them, then retrieve them, loading the data, doing manipulations. All this related to a data we use as a SQL. As we know, HTML basically used for website designing for front end, and PHP is used for middleware on the back end processing. But still, there also they use as a SQL as a structured query language to read the data. Take any front end application or any type of application, mobile devices, IO applications, Android applications, any applications. If we go, they'll be using a SQL as a backend data retriever and data pushing. So basically, SQL will be used for RDBMS. For NoSQL, we call this non-RDBMS databases. Some of them are uses the SQL, and other they have their own way of reading the languages. Then RDBMS means like what are the databases? Like SQL Server, Microsoft, Oracle databases, MySQL database, MyAccess database, Sybase, Postgres, Teradata, DB2. We have varieties of different databases around the market. Same as like we have cars from different companies. The purpose of serving is same, that traveling from one place to another place. But the comfort, the mileage, or the look and feel of the cars will be different. So we basically choose them based on our requirement. So then what does a SQL developer do there? Basically, SQL Server developer who's to build the database. He is a person who start from that designing. He is a creator of that. Once done, he is to do maintenance. If you want to do any data activities on that, if you want to create any activities, you want to load the data, you want to retrieve the data, people used to write a scripts for a SQL Server DB and do the manipulations. So data will be something like it can be kind of any format. They'll do changes of those things and they just put them onto it and view onto it. So example, if your database might be have like date of birth, but the requirement is to find the age of the person. So directly we can do something like current date minus the date of birth. So possibly we'll get the age. So these are the different ways of like doing manipulations and getting data from all these sectors. So a developer used to write the queries, codes, simple scripts. It might be a complex scripts. It depends on the requirements. So he completely works on the database side to do all kind of manipulations. Then what next he do? In order to understand how the organization data is, he'll take care of all those things. What exactly my data should be? What exactly my organization should keep the data? Because nowadays we used to get many data. In that we might need only few data and few data is irrelevant. So we need to decide and we need to keep all those data. So those are the will be decide decision maker by a developer. So it can be a technical, it can be non-technical. So discuss with the people, with the business people, and take the requirement and take the data. And by doing all those things, they used to put the data into the database, and they do all kind of manipulations and varieties of activities on the databases. So next, if you come, then its question is, what skills a DBA or sorry SQL developer should have? What should he knows? What level of experience he need? So that comes here is that these are the different skills that required. One should know about the database management, basically data management, that what exactly we store, how exactly we store, the structure of the database, the structure of a table, when retrieving, how what is the format he want to find. So these are like data management. And next is the software programming. So we need to know something about the programming, like how exactly they read the data, how exactly they pick up the queries, what exactly I need to give them so that that will be used in the applications level. And next is the server development and the maintenance. So one should know that basically we call them as a capacity planning. So whenever we construct any building, so we'll be thinking ahead of time and we'll do a plan. So today it might be a very small, but what if after 2 to 3 years, after 5 years, how exactly it will be? So by looking such things, we used to build some any buildings or any architecture. Similarly, here also, we should not just think about the what is the current situation and situations, and we need to design the database. So we have to think ahead of it also what might be a data size in future, what might be the data load, what might be the processor in future. So he has to decide and he has to tell, yes, I need this type of server, I need this much amount of space, I need these are the resources which required to do all the manipulation and maintenance and other stuff. So he should be a capacity planner. Then problem solving, obviously this is like one of the good environment. Think logically. We have to always think logically and solving the problems. Just business will tell you I need this data, I don't know how you run it, but as a developer, we need to think logically. We need to give a best solution with low cost. It includes time efficiency, it might include resource utilization, it can use the amount of time it right need for development. So we should have very good capacity. So problem solving, because we can write same cases in multiple ways, but we have to be very careful on choosing the best with a low cost. Next is a TSQL, is called as a transact structured query language, one of the query language that used in to get all the data. Example like we have DDL, DML, DSQL. People from the engineering background might have seen all this, and most of the people might have also seen these kind of structures. We used to write select, update, joins, multiple ways of writing the things and retrieving the data from it. It might be a single sentence, or it might be a thousands of query codes that we basically uses TSQL to get the data out of it. Then process enhancement. As I said, it's not just like we need to write some code to get retrieved and it runs for an hour together to extract data. No, we have to be right, or we have to be designed a database or the environment in such a way that if we give request some data to the database by using TSQL commands, the data has to be retrieved as fast as it is. Because nowadays we need everything in the most fastest manner. So these are the skills that we need to be enhanced as to become a SQL developer. Yes, these are the things we'll come to know with all our trainings. Then, what if I learn all these things? What will be my path in future if I become a SQL developer? We have varieties of strings. We have varieties of different sectors where we can pitch in. The first one is a database administrator. If we come with all this knowledge addition to a database software knowledge, then we can become a database administrator, where he's a person starts from building the server, daily maintenance or weekly maintenance, updates, packages, the features that to be implemented on the databases which the company is to provide within that software, within that license. He's take care of everything end to end on the server's support side. And you can become a SQL developer, database developer. He is a person who used to write the lines, thousands lines of scripts to retrieve the data, or basically how exactly we need. It's just not a retrieve. It can be anything. Example, I can say. So I have an e-commerce database. I have the different tables like customers, products, order, shipments, all transaction details, accounts details, everything. But my boss needs only informations that easily be understandable for them. Like he need how much it is been, excuse me, traded in the last week, how many orders were being placed in the current month, how much I got profit in the last month or the last quarter. So is there any good feedbacks that are coming? So all doing all this data processing, everything, all but designing multiple things, we will be joining multiple tables and everything, then we'll get some steps that a developer do. Then comes with the data science. The data science is one of the booming technology comes in current situation, where we get huge data across the world. We'll capture all those things, then we'll look at what exactly that required. Example, I can say, if you have a coffee shop, People used to come around, just take those things, these things, and just they used to take. But we'll be not knowing that what is there in the customer mind. So what? I'll take some survey from the customer. So what time the customer comes, how what time he leaves, how much time he spends in shop, what all the things he liked it, what all the things he is expect from our shop. So varieties of information he'll get, and data scientists will do all the analyticals on this to improve his business. Initially, he had just a shop. Then, after looking all this, he found that a Wi-Fi is required in his shop so that people is to stay longer in his shop. And same time, just not he want to sell the tea, he wants to sell some more like snacks, so that people is to sit with extra snacks. The business will happen. He is providing some amenities to the customers. So by looking all this, he can expand his business and the profits. That's all the scientist is to tell about. By looking all these data, he'll do a data manipulations and he'll get the things. Basically, data mining, data manipulation, data analytics. The next comes with an ETL developer. He's a person who is to take a data from varieties of different types of databases. He used to get everything. So he wants to take all those of data and he wants to transform it and he wants to load it. Basically, ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. He'll take extract the data from varieties of source and he'll transfer that into what exactly he needs it and he'll load it into a database. And finally, we have BI developers and BI administrator, which calls business intelligence developers and database. Basically, they more concentrate on graphical representations. As I said initially, my boss need complete information in graphical formats and very easy understandable. How many customers are coming daily? If I take the same example from the coffee shop, just he wanted to look at how many people are coming from to the shop and what all the items it's getting sold very oftenly, how many products were being sold, what are the product which is not being sold, so that he can look on all the things and he can do a changes on his business. And what are the profits he is getting on what product he is getting the more products. These are the varieties of things that can be taken. Real-time example I can tell, SSRS is one of the tool. Power BI, you might have heard it. Tableau. These are the where we can use a SQL developer to design all those things. Yes, those are the graphical developers. That is a just tool, but you have to build a SQL script before going to the tool. And administrator, once you know about all these things, so you can meantime do BI reports like administration, like Tableau administration, Power BI administration, SSRS administration, SQL Server administration, database administration kind of things. All these people need the SQL developer course and knowledge. Then comes with the certification path. What helps by taking a certification? So it's a stamp of telling that you are excellence in that technology. It will help you in hiring for the particular project. It substantially increases your pay that you are mastering that subject. It gives a clear picture that you are fit for the job. As simple as keeping your driving license. So it just tells about the excuse me. It just tells about you are fit to run drives some vehicles. There it's clearly mentioned that what type of license, I mean vehicles you drive. Just basically this certification is very important in current days. is a one which tells about your capability on the technology. Basically, it will enhance your knowledge as well as the projects. So once you're getting with the courses and the certifications, so everyone comes to know that yes, you are being fitted for this job and you can go ahead and easily do all the tasks. That's all tell about that. Then who are offering these certificates? Varieties of companies who offers this certificate here, like IBM. They used to give a certification on DB2, Microsoft SQL Server. Microsoft provides a certification on Microsoft SQL Server database certification. Oracle give a certification on MySQL as well as an Oracle. So these are the best companies who provides the certifications, and these are the valid worldwide. If you have done the certification in India, it is been valid in US. If you have done a certification in US, it's valid in UK. If it is done by UK, it is been valid in India. It's the same certification worldwide. It's valid everywhere. And next important thing, how am I benefited from this? Do I really get good benefits on doing this course or doing becoming a SQL developer? Obviously. Do you know a person who's a SQL developer with the best knowledge earns $72,000 per year. In India, almost 6.5 lakhs per annum. This is a person who has some 2 to 3 years of experience or maximum 4 years of experience who gets these kind of good salaries across the industries. Then you might be excited that yes, you want to be learn all these courses and you want to be skilled on this. Definitely it boosts all your incomes. Then you might think, where do I get job? Where do I get that handsome amount of salary if I become a SQL developer? Varieties of companies we have like Uber, Netflix, Twitter, varieties of Dropbox, LinkedIn, Microsoft. Nowadays, not only these companies, we have almost IT sectors, people who are using a digital technology. Obviously, they have to use some database. If they are have some front end, obviously they have to maintain back end. Either one of the database in the industry they have to use. They have to go with the one transaction RDBMS to maintain their project. Might be a small, but they has to use it. As scaled company, if you have a small industry, they'll use in a small scale. If it is a big company, they use in a big scale. But I can say almost 99% of IT industries or the company who are in digital field, they're using the database. It's same that if you are using a database, obviously there will be opportunity for a database developer. Finally, what is my learning path? So you might have been excited that you have to take all these technologies into yourself, into you, that you'll have a best career in future, best life in future. So then how exactly I need to reach there? First most step is, so you need to start. You have to be ignited first. Then you have to learn about the architecture of it, what exactly is the SQL and how exactly it has come, what is the current status of it, how am I going to deploy them, how am I going to modify and configuration those all settings, and how it is being used in the industries, that to be noted and need to be learned with some of the components, what exactly we have, how exactly we it been used, What are the things to be used in which time, what time? Then SQL Server tools, we have varieties of tools that to be learned. Example, I can say you can use ETL tools. We have like Informatica tools. We have Management Studios tools, and we have SSIS tools. So these are like different tools to do different activities. Example, if I tell SSIS, it's a one of the ETL tool, and Visual Studio, it's a one of the tool to design SSIS package, reporting packages. And Power BI is a one of the tool to display all the reports. Tableau is a one of the tool which used to display those. So we have varieties of tool, but do we need to learn all? No. If you go with any particular topics on this, you have to look just onto that. If you know most of the tools, then it will be very good that you have very good knowledges and broad knowledge on this. After learning all these things, you have to be practiced in the sample projects. So then you'll get off and on project experience, real-time experience. So you'll become you'll be ready to do those projects if it comes real time in the any companies. Once you are comfortable with all these things, then get a certification. That is where you reach almost to the goal. Then once it will make you start a good career with the SQL developer or the DBA, so that easily you can boost all your careers. Finally, an investment in knowledge always pays the best interest. So this is all about what exactly the SQL is and what is the current trend and every stuff. I guess few people are excited to start learning on the things, and most of them have a few little confusions or the doubts. So here is a time to get all your QAs to be solved. If you have any QAs, just drop them in a chat or a QA session. So I'll try to solve all your doubts. Or you can raise your hands, I can unmute yourself, you can talk to me and clarify all your doubts. No doubts? So did you get something today? Can someone reply me that you are able to hear me at least? Guys, yes or no? Can you able to hear me? Can someone put a chat that you are able to? Yes, yeah, okay, thank you, great. I was being shocked that I didn't get any response, like it was being not clear for anyone. Yeah, and anyone has any questions? Do you have any confusions where you want to like clarify that what exactly to be taken? Okay, I'll wait for a minute. Then, if no, then probably I'll hand it over to support team for their further discussions on the today's agenda. If someone wants to talk, then you have to ask me so that I can mute. Yeah, I think I'm not able to unmute yourself. Deepak, do you have any questions? You can just put in a chat box. Yeah, I have no questions, Rakesh, on the information provided so far. Oh, thank you. Okay, if there is no questions and nothing, so I'll hand it over to Shweta or Rudrani, so to take forward on your task. Thank you.
Hello, are you all able to see my screen? If you can just tell me in the chat board, that would be really helpful. All right, so I assume that you guys would be able to see my screen as of now. I'll just put this. Give me 1 second. All right, so thank you, Rakesh, for this amazing webinar that you conducted for all of our students. Coming to the Microsoft SQL certification training that Intellipaat provides, this particular program that we provide would completely help you manage the database solutions and various operations on databases, migrate them to cloud, and scale them on demand. So we will be entirely teaching you the SQL from scratch to the advanced level concepts. And you will be working on real world projects to master the Transact SQL. We are the official learning partners of Microsoft, out of which three things are going to be coming. Firstly, this entire course is in collaboration with Microsoft. So the entire curriculum that is there, it is designed in collaboration with Microsoft, keeping it at par with the international standards of what you require to know in SQL. Secondly, you would be trained by Microsoft certified professionals. They are working professionals working on SQL to completely deliver you the content end to end. That is basically to ensure that not only are we giving you the practical knowledge, the theoretical knowledge, but also the industry exposure when it comes to SQL. And thirdly, you will be getting two certificates. One is going to be a joint certificate from Microsoft. This is a certificate of achievement. And one is going to be a certification of course completion from Intellipaat. Both of these are valid throughout a duration of lifetime. They are valid through all top organizations in India and abroad, and they are going to be recognized throughout as professional certificates. So first I'll tell you all about the curriculum. This is the entire learning path that we would be taking up throughout the program. As I said, everything would be covered from scratch to the advanced level concepts. So there is absolutely no requirement for you to know anything in advance before you take this program, as everything would be covered from scratch from the very basics. We first take you through the introduction to SQL, then we come to database normalization and entity relationship model. Then we come to SQL operators, then SQL join tables and variables, deep dive into SQL functions, working with subqueries, SQL views, functions, and stored procedures, deep dive into user defined functions, optimization and performance, advanced topics that would basically cover hands-on exercises on all of these exist queries, grouping set queries, roll-ups, cubes. Then we have managing database concurrency, practice sessions for all of the queries that you have learned throughout the program, and study material from Microsoft. So that is going to be your entire learning path as live interactive sessions with the instructor on a virtual platform. We would be using the GoToWebinar for the same, the GoToMeeting for the same. Coming to the projects throughout the program, you will be working on a lot of industry specific real life live projects, all of which are designed to give you a real world experience when it comes to SQL. They are designed by industry experts looking at the industry requirements of what you need to know when it comes to SQL, and also help you practice the essential queries and the tools integrated with this domain. Some of them are mentioned here for you to have an idea of what kind of projects you would be taking up throughout the program. So basically, we are going to be making sure that you have the industry exposure before you venture there with all the industry specific projects that we would be giving you. We have a peer learning chat application wherein you are added along with all of your classmates into one group, that is to enhance the collaborative learning and a classroom like experience, and also for career referrals and all of that, for major announcements, and for also to maintain a connection building in the industry. Coming to the certification, this is one of the snapshots of the certification that you get from Microsoft. This is a joint certificate from Intellipaat and Microsoft, and it is a certificate of achievement. One another certificate you will be getting from Intellipaat as a course completion certificate. Both of these certificates are valid throughout the duration of lifetime and will be considered throughout as a professional certificate. So now coming to what services are you basically going to be getting as a part of this program? Firstly and foremostly, you will be getting a free data warehousing and Irving course or MX Excel course along with this free. This is a self-paced course that you would be getting just for an additional knowledge when you're working with SQL. This is going to be 30 hours of instructor-led training as live interactive sessions with the instructor on a virtual platform like Google Meet also. 16 hours of self-paced videos would be given to you along with 32 hours of project work and exercises you would be taking up throughout the program. Certification I already told you about. Then comes the job assistance. In the job assistance, we basically help you get a job if you're looking at taking this training from either changing your current job role or transitioning into this domain, or upskilling yourself with SQL. We will be completely helping you out with finding a job that matches your profile. So, firstly, what we do is when you reach 80% of the completion of the program, we assign you a professional team who expertises in portfolio building. This team would entirely be working on your CV, your resume, your LinkedIn profile to optimize it to the maximum level possible to make it very, very noticeable to the recruiters. Once that is done, we start preparing you for the interviews that you sit for. So, basically, we have partnerships and collaborations with around 500 plus reputed multinational companies and tech giants all around the world and throughout India. And as a part of that, we actively give you placements, all of which are inclusively created for Intellipaat students. So you do not have to go ahead and compete with the entire crowd out there. So if I give you a generic example, these would be companies like Nasdaq, Amazon, Microsoft, Genpact, Wipro, TCS, Gartner, Intuit, Sony, Saint-Gobain, Ericsson, Adobe. So all of these are our active hiring partners with whom your interviews would be scheduled after you have taken our program. The second step is that specific to each company that you sit for, we start to prepare you for these interviews through various mock interviews, salary negotiation skills, set of questions, soft skills training, and all of that. So you are very prepared to sit for the interview. Then, of course, your recruitment drive starts with all of our partner companies. They are all inclusive interviews, so we are cutting down on the competition there. So that is the entire. We also give you, in fact, a job portal as well. This is basically known as www.jobs.intellipaat.com. You can find it like that. So here, basically, this is a job portal. I'm sorry about this. So basically, this is a job portal here. Throughout the duration of lifetime, you'll be able to see all the vacancies as and when they come with our partnered companies. And even you can apply from your end. by showing Intellipaat certification as a verification, and interviews would be scheduled for you directly. Apart from that, as I said, everything would be taken care of from our end. After taking this particular program, if you're already a working professional, you can easily expect a salary hike on your current salaries as well. So that will be also taken care by us, that we can segregate the organizations accordingly for you, that can guarantee you, that can deliver you a good higher position in the management and a salary hike as well. Coming to the other services, we give you a lifetime free upgrade. So all the live sessions that you have with the instructors are recorded and put in your learning management system, the access to which you have for a duration of lifetime. Okay, so this comes with a lifetime free upgrade. So the life anytime there are any upgradations or updations in the technology you are learning from us, we would be entirely updating your content from our end without charging you anything extra for the same. Throughout the program, you will be given a mentor support. There is going to be a learning manager by your end at all times to take feedbacks from you on how the classes went, and also to guide you throughout the program for any doubts, any issues that you are facing. We also give you a 24/7 technical support and access. So anytime that you have a doubt or you're stuck at any particular part of the course, you can also connect with this team and they will be able to clear out your doubts right away. They are available 24/7 around the clock, and you will always be having one-on-one doubt resolution session with this team. So either you can call them with your doubts, or you can email them a screenshot to your doubts, or you can even conduct a Google meeting or a Zoom meeting with them. You can share your screen and discuss your doubts with them. Coming to basically the kinds of trainings that we provide, we give you first of all a self-paced training. In the self-paced training, we give you the recorded materials that have been recorded in a controlled environment. You guide yourself through it. Anytime that you have a doubt, you connect with the 24/7 support. Then we have the online classroom. In the online classroom, everything first of all that is available in self-paced is being given to you for free. Secondly, you will be having live interactive sessions with the instructors over a virtual platform like GoToMeeting. And basically, these are instructors having 15 plus years of experience in the industry, working as database architects or working specifically on SQL. And you can attend as many batches as you want for a duration of lifetime without paying anything extra for the same. So post one enrollment, n number of live sessions you can attend, be it for revision purposes, be it for purposes you missed out on classes or you want to keep yourself upgraded, anything, you can attend as many batches as you want without paying anything extra. There are two batches basically for this particular program. One is a Saturday and Sunday batch. So the classes is conducted from Saturday 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. and Sunday 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. So Saturday and Sunday, and there is a Tuesday to Friday batch. So the classes are going to be conducted on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning. So this is about the entire program. If you guys have any doubts, you feel free to ask me right now. You can raise your hands or you can message in the chat box here. Any doubts, you guys can put it up on the chat. So I am going to be sharing my contact number, my email, and my name here. If in case you want to connect with me for further inquiry of the program. You can note this down and you can connect with me anytime for any further inquiries when it comes to the SQL program. I am still waiting for any questions if anyone would have. Right, guys. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining in for today's session. It was a pleasure having you all here. Thank you.